You make me nervous. You know that?
What makes you nervous? Coffee takes a minute, brother.
Thank you guys for joining. We'll be starting at about 40 seconds here on the live streams. It's going to be a really great show for you guys. Hey, Johnny, we're going to learn about AI safety. Everybody's all excited. Thank you guys for joining. Here we go.
Welcome to Season 9 of Airhead Institute, your 45-minute power-up at noon Eastern. This month, we are broadcasting live across all the socials and Zoom. If you're new here, join our free community to grow alongside other curious minds and give your kids a head start by enrolling them in the Airhead After School program. Here is the weekly lineup. Mondays, we build the future in the AI Agent Academy. Tuesdays, witness the vocal gauntlet in the TTS Showdown. Wednesdays, protect your identity and family in AI Safety 101. Thursdays, we uncover the secret tools in hidden AI gems, appetizers. Fridays, we explore the what-if files in the AI Singularity. We're making AI practical, powerful, and accessible for everyone. No tech background? No problem. Whether you're a student, professional, or lifelong learner, just show up. Guided by your hosts, AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're keeping it bold, brainy, and built for real-world impact. AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind.
Welcome back to Season 9 of Airhead Institute. Today is Episode 1 of our brand new Wednesday series, AI Safety 101. We've spent years showing you how AI can supercharge your work, build businesses, and make life easier. But today, we're talking about the scary side, how AI can steal your voice and trick the people that you love the most. Junior showed me a demo this morning, honestly freaked me out. I almost wanted to swear off phones and go back to carrier pigeons. No jokes aside, today's focus is the grandma scam, upgraded with voice cloning. Coming up, you'll hear 2 audio clips of a teen asking for money. Guess which is AI faked from a short TikTok? Hint, you'll probably get it wrong. We'll clone my voice live, break down how scammers do it so fast, and most importantly, give you real ways to protect your family, safe words, privacy tips, and smart defenses. And by the end, you'll feel armed and ready. And speaking of wild AI experience, I walked today and caught Junior cloning voices onto viral pet videos, making cats and dogs talk in perfect English, begging for treats like little drama queens. So, Junior, did you get the algorithm finally and crack that code? Who's a good little boy? Are we still waiting on that Oscar-worthy monologue? Let's dive in. Junior, take it away, and please do it in your own voice.
AI Johnny, that's so funny. Let's get serious. So this is an immersive class. Imagine you guys are dropped in the middle of Tokyo with zero Japanese. At first, it's just noise. Then you pick up arigato, then sumimasen. Eventually, you order ramen like a pro. That's exactly what we're doing here with AI voice cloning with AI Safety 101 today. So right now, it sounds scary, but by the end of this hour, you'll be fluent in defense. So join our class, and before you know it, you'll be speaking ones and zeros. If you are on Zoom, unmute and ask, just live. If you're on the social, there's a 30-second delay, so type your questions in now, and you're in week 1 and with of Intelligent Evolution month, and today is all about protecting your family. All right, AI Johnny, are you ready for the wow?
Very ready. My sleeves are rolled up in the whole 9.
All right. So check this out, AI Johnny. So let's go over to we're gonna start off with the hook AI Johnny. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play two audio clips, right? One is a real teenage girl, and the other one is the other one is AI generated teenage girl. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not share the screen. I'm gonna show the audio first. Let you guys just listen to it and tell me which one. Then I'll show the visuals to give you even more hints, and then we'll see which one is the correct. So here's the first one.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something. The police are here and they say I need bail money right now or I'm going to jail. Please don't tell Mom yet. Just help me.
All right, that is one. I'm going to play the other one, number two.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something.
All right, so AI Johnny and everybody who's actually watching, AI Johnny, which one do you think is real? Or you know what? We shouldn't even ask the audience, which one do you think is real? Is it the first one or the second one? Shauna's actually saying, "Oh my, that sounds so real." Yes, Shauna. And before you guys actually, just remember to comment in the chat. But AI Johnny, they both sound real, right?
It would appear that AI can fake reality better than reality itself.
You're right.
Based on what I think is the AI.
All right. So I'm going to actually share my screen and show. So we actually have votes coming in. So we have some people saying two, some people actually saying one. So let's go play them again. I'm going to show the video of them. All right. So here is the first one.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something. The police are here and they say I need bail money right now or I'm going to jail. Please don't tell Mom yet. Just help me.
All right, so that's voice one. I see people commenting in the actual show right now. So Shauna says the voice one sounds like AI. Rita says both sound fake. The second one sounds human. Shauna says AI. Johnny says the first one is real. Second one is fake because it sounds. All right, so let's hear the second one.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something.
All right. So you guys actually see two videos. So what do you guys think? Final votes coming in right now. If you guys coming on the live stream, what do you guys think? So AI Johnny, what do you think? You still think number two is fake because of the background noises?
Yep.
All right.
The perfect background noises.
The perfect background noise. AI Johnny, that's a really, really, really good. All right. So the answer is, drum roll, please. They are both fake. And guess what? The scary part, both of them took less than 2 minutes to actually make, right? So they're nearly identically sounding humans. You guys can't tell a difference. And it's only because I told you that one of them is real. It kind of tricked your mind into believing that one of them must be real. But what I try to show you here is that it's really, really, really hard to distinguish which one is even real or which one is even fake. So yeah, Johnny. So you heard the pauses, you heard the difference. So let's play it again just to hear. Listen to the breaths and the pauses.
Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something.
Right? That was the one, and this is the other one. Listen to this, the breaths and the pauses.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something. The police are here and they say I need bail money right now or I'm going to jail. Please don't tell Mom yet. Just help me.
All right. So we're going to show you guys how we actually did all of that. We teach AI here every weekday. So AI Johnny, what's your reaction?
Well, do we know how much Grandma gave to one and how much Grandma gave to two?
I like that. You know what? I think Grandma would probably give a nice, 500 or $1,000 to actually help with bail money. Sean is actually saying in the comments that Rita knew they were both fake. No one is going to fool her, fool or Rita. That is so true. Shout out to Rita in the chat. Yes, AI Johnny. So anything that is so AI Johnny said the entire contest is fake. Yes, you're right, AI Johnny. Everything was actually staged. All right, so AI Johnny, what is the word of the day?
AI Johnny's word of the day is voice cloning. All right. The definition of voice cloning is the process of using artificial intelligence to analyze a recording of a person's voice and generate new speech that sounds exactly like them, capturing their tone, their accent, and even their emotional inflections. It's a throwback to yesterday. When did we do this?
You're right, AI Johnny.
TTS, yeah, throwback to yesterday. Good. So it's not just being able to understand how their vocal cords makes the thing sounds. It's the ability to put in pauses, make the voice sound nervous, make the voice sound excited, I mean, there's so much more than just being able to sound like them. You have to be able to capture the emotions as well, and the pregnant pauses, and I don't know, how they cry, how they hiccup. There's a lot. There's a lot to cloning a voice.
Exactly,
So
AI
voice
Johnny.
cloning is the word of the day.
Exactly, yeah, John. Thank you for that. So, and technically, we often call this what's known as voice synthesis or audio style transfer. So the AI isn't recording words; it's learning the mathematical formula of your vocal cords. It's creating a digital mask that you can wear to say anything that you say, right? So let's actually go into the deep dive of this specific thing. So first of all, you want to be able to clone, a voice. So one of our favorite tools to actually use is 11 Labs. So we're going to drop 11 Labs access the link to 11 Labs in the chat. So if you guys are actually watching, you guys can stream along and play along. So 11 Labs is one of our favorite tools for what's known as a TTS or text to speech engine. Now, because you actually have text to speech here, the scammer would go ahead and go find the source material. Now, we live in a world where Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those things have your voices everywhere. So just going to scour the web for that particular piece of audio, upload it into 11 Labs and actually clone. So if you actually go to 11 Labs, up at the top here, you'll see a button that says clone. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see it on the screen. There's a little button that says clone voice. And then if you say clone voice, it will ask you upload about 1 minute worth of audio. Instant voice clone takes about 2 minutes of voice to actually clone. And if you want a really, really, really professional voice, it says you need minimum of 5 minutes. But technically, what we have found is that if you upload about 30 minutes of clean audio, you'll get a almost near perfect match. So what we're going to do is it takes a little bit while to be able to train the voice. So we've gone ahead and cloned AI Johnny's voice. So we actually have AI Johnny's voice here. And this is AI Johnny's voice in 2026. AI Johnny, do you mind me stealing your voice for a second? Is that okay?
No, I'll tell you though, I don't think I talked too long to create that. Maybe 30 seconds. But here's the thing. I think we should talk a little bit about that on why you need 30. I used to think that the reason they needed more time is so that they could catch you saying every letter and every vowel and every pronunciation of every vowel. But that's not it. It's those tonations, those emotional, those fluxes. That's the kind of stuff that you don't get in 30 seconds. You get it if you listen to an hour of somebody. You start to hear what they do. And I was starting to think, like, sometimes even when I'm just talking on my own, I'll pause for a long period of time because I forgot what I was going to say. So the question is, would AI not have that pause because it never forgets? Or would AI pause because it knows that sometimes I forget and I pause this long before I say it?
You know what, AI Johnny, this is a really great time to actually learn about something that a terminology that's being thrown about and many people don't even understand it. So let's actually talk about it. So we're going to talk about shot prompting. Now, the reason why I said shot prompting is because there is a number that usually goes before the word shot prompting. So you've probably heard people throw it on things like 0 shot prompting, 1 shot prompting, 2 shot prompting, N shot prompting. Now, what do these means? So what happens is, let's use the easiest one example. Let's say, for example, you were to say, hey, I want to clone AI Johnny's voice. 1 shot prompting means you're giving 1 sample or 1 example to the prompt to be able to use an example to be able to do exactly what I want. So example, if I wanted to clone AI Johnny's voice, I would take one sample and put it to the AI and say, I want it to sound just like this thing. And that's called one-shot prompting. We do this with documents, right? This is not a language model, a large language model text-to-text show, but let me give the example of the text. Let's say, for example, I want to be able to write exactly like this. If you give it one example, that's called one-shot prompting. I want you to write a new article with one example, one-shot prompting. If you give two examples, this is called two-shot prompting. So two-shot prompting is if you gave two different documents, this is my writing style. I want you to write a third document like me. That's called two-shot prompting. Now, the reason why zero-shot prompting is you give no example and it just guesses what it tries to do without any information. Now, the reason why shot prompting is important is because the more information you give the large language model, the better it is at figuring out. So AI Johnny, you pointed out exactly the right thing, is that if you only gave it 10 seconds worth of audio or one example, or it's not going to be as good. The more examples you give it, it will know not just to copy the pattern, but to understand the nuances and the context of why you chose that way. So when you take a breath in that 30-second audio that you picked up, it will think that you always take a breath before the letter the. But if you do it multiple times, it will figure it out naturally.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes if I'm tired, my voice sounds completely different than if I'm excited, right? At the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. And so the idea is if you have multiple shot prompting and it hears your voice multiple times, then when you hear it, when you hear AI created voice of you, even if it's perfect, if the next time you hear it, it's the exact same voice and the exact same tonality, you'll catch on that because humans sound different, right? And AI doesn't. So if it has, a 10-shot prompting, 10 examples of your speaking during different times of the year, during different times of the day, during different emotional situations, it will be able to pick from a myriad of different Johnny voices and choose the one that fits best into this situation, which once that happens, man, you're going to have to say, look, I don't know if your AI are real on the phone. I'm going to have to come over.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. And we're going to teach you how to actually prevent these AI safety voice clone traps. All right, so let's get back to the example. So if we actually go to 11 Labs, we've already done a example of AI Johnny. We've cloned AI Johnny's voice, and AI, again, because we've only done about 30 seconds, again, the more you actually do, the better it is. So AI Johnny, you actually left me a voicemail this morning. I'm going to play the voicemail and just making sure you're okay.
Hi, Junior. I lost my wallet and I'm stuck at a toll plaza coming back to town. Can you Venmo me $100, please?
You know what, AI Johnny, if I heard that voice message, I would probably just Venmo you $200 because I don't want you getting stranded at any other toll plaza coming back to town. Make sure you fill up on gas and those type of things. So one of the things we want to realize, AI Johnny, how did that sound?
It sounded exactly like me, and I believe you probably would but the scammers are going to be really surprised when they realize that their scam worked. But I got the $100 because you Venmoed it to me.
You're so right, AI Johnny. You're so right. All right, so let's prove that this is a live thing. So AI Johnny, I want you to throw out a random word. Let's actually do something a little bit nuanced so people don't think that this is actually a stage of me just recording your voice and then playing it back. So let's throw out a random word.
I'm trying to think. It was this morning, right? When I was cooking?
Sure,
Let's try
anything.
a spatula.
All right. So we're going to do, you lost your wallet. So let's not say you lost your wallet. You lost your spatula. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll change the spatula here. And this is the text-to-speech generation in 11 Labs. And if you join us for the first time, we're teaching how to actually be safe with, text-to-speech. So we're going to generate AI Johnny's voice.
AI Junior, I lost my spatula and I'm stuck at a toll plaza coming back to town. Can you Venmo me $100, please?
All right. So see, we just on the fly almost instantly changed the sentence to actually say spatula. So AI Johnny, this is a little scary, right? Super scary. What do you think?
I think you'd still send me the $100, but I think you'd then turn to Sean and go, "Why does Johnny need $100 for a spatula? Something's not
You're
right."
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right. So let's actually go a little bit deeper in understanding what's happening. Right. So how did it actually do that? So remember this is an immersive class, so we want to teach the basics, and we want to get a little bit more technical, and we're going to get a little bit more technical. So if you get lost on any of those things, don't worry about it. You may pick up one word here, two words here. Eventually, you'll pick up them all. If you keep coming back to these classes. So let's talk about the deep dive. So the deep dive is, how did the AI actually do that, right? So the way how AI does it is it creates a digital fingerprint, something called embeddings. So embeddings is just a mathematical formula that actually takes things like the pitch, the gravel, the breath, the frequency, the intonation, and it stores every single thing, and it creates a little digital footprint, and it maps all of these to thousands and thousands of points in what's known as latent space. I know a lot of technical words here thrown around. So when we uploaded AI Johnny's audio, the model didn't just memorize his words. It extracted the recipe for his voice, and then it actually broke it down, and it says, oh, I noticed that Johnny hits a high C when he's excited, or he drags out his S's, and it stores that information as a pattern. So it's like a chef tasting a soup. The chef doesn't need a recipe written down. They taste it and say, needs a little bit of cumin, a little bit of salt, a little bit more tomato, and then he adjusts and then realizes what is actually there. So then you can go to the kitchen and cook any soup using that same exact flavor profile, because he knows how much cumin is in the soup that he likes, how much salt it is, and how much tomato. So the AI chef just knows everything about your voice, and then he uses your voice as the flavor to just make different recipes, like different words. Does anybody have any questions? I know we just went a little bit technical on that, but I wanted to make sure that people understand technically what's actually happening. AI Johnny? AI Johnny, you're on mute.
I have an example of this from the future that I just threw into your. Did I do that yet? I just threw into the WhatsApp.
Okay, let me
It only
actually
takes
get that.
17 seconds, but it'll show you how this will work in the future.
All right, let me go ahead and grab that. What's in WhatsApp AI Johnny? All right.
Of this from the future that I just threw into your. No, you're grabbing me. It's the one above it.
Oh.
Are you sure you're okay?
What's our dog's name?
Yeah, Max.
Oh, that's so funny, AI Johnny. That's definitely from Terminator. So we just want to make sure that you guys actually.
It's exactly the same thing, isn't it? That's exactly what they're doing. This
You're-
fingerprint stuff.
You're absolutely right, AI Johnny. So AI Johnny, what is the next segment we need to actually get into?
We're doing the fingerprinting, then we're going into the under the hood, right?
Definitely.
Junior's about to go full matrix on us. If you don't care how the sausage is made, cover your ears. So this is a tech segment. But Junior, so technically, what really happens if I do try to fool a bank, is it just stitching words together?
No, that's a great question, yeah, Johnny. So let's check this out. So guys, what is really happening behind the scenes? So it's not just stitching the words together. That's really old school. You remember when kidnappers would actually take magazines and chop things up and actually put them in the magazine. And once they put them in the magazine, they'd have a ransom note and they stitch words together, and it looks obvious that it's actually made together. In this scenario, it's a little bit different. It's not actually just stitching words together. It's actually using what's known as generative audio. And the reason why it's actually, generative audio is the thing that's actually interesting about this is we're moving from concatenative, TTS means pre-gluing words together, to what's known as neural rendering. So when you hear your GPS in your car, when you listen to it and it's talking generically back from like the early 2000s, it's just stitching words together. So you'll hear the same word sounds the exact same way, and then that's it. It's just a bunch of pre-recorded clips that they put together. That's why it sounds robotic. No, it's actually using neural rendering. So the model is very similar to what's known as how we do token text predictions, right? So let's look at this as an example. In this example, if you guys actually are familiar with TTT or text to text, it actually tries to predict the next token or the next word. Now, the reason why I want to focus on this example is because if you focus on the text, it becomes very easy to understand the analogy. So in when you're using a large language model, a text-to-text version, if you see here on the left-hand side, it's trying to predict the next letter, okay? So it's H-E-L-L, and what is the next letter after it? Now, I know us as humans, we know the next letter is going to be O, but technically it could be exclamation mark, because it could be that you're cursing, you might be saying hell, or you might be saying something else, but statistically the O comes next. So what it does is it predicts the next token as O. So anytime you're talking to a large language model, it actually sees what is coming up next and predicts that token, which is why in a text-to-text model you see H-E-L-L-O. On the right-hand side, it's the same exact thing happening, but with speech. With speech, it's not predicting the text that's coming up, it's predicting the next sound that's coming up. So when you say the word hello, the sounds of H-E-L-L makes hell, and what usually comes after that when someone speaks, it's usually the O sound, hello. So statistically, they will predict the hello. So they know how many hellos have been said in the world, they know how your voice sounds, and they merge the O together to make it sound really, really natural. And that's how they're able to figure out that how you pronounce your O's and how you pronounce your inflection, that's how it figures it out. And that's behind the scenes, a little bit of deep dive of how it's actually doing it. Yeah, Johnny, how was that?
I think that's, we've covered this in past seasons where we talked about the voice cloning, but it's getting to the point that it's almost impossible to detect. So it's going to require some back and forth in order to stop yourself from being a victim of it. And it really is at the same level that we see in Hollywood. I mean, we tried to show that clip, and it was funny because you showed the clip of me, and I'm guessing the people watching were like, "Yeah, that sounds like Johnny too." Well, it actually was Johnny, but yeah, it's almost impossible to detect. So I think, as terrifying as it is, we have to figure out and offer ways that you can stop it. Otherwise, you're just a sitting duck waiting to be scammed. So there are 3 moves that we have available to do this. One is if it's over the phone. Somebody calls you up and you think it might be a scam, or even if you think it might be real. There's a thing called the hang up rule. If a loved one calls you crying and asking for money, hang up and immediately call them back on their known number. Scammers can't intercept the call back. Is that 100% foolproof?
That's actually 90%. Most scammers can actually, make the call back. But I want to tie up something I actually said in the first example. So the example, not the first example, the example of the, being able to go a little bit more technical. So what the AI is actually doing is what's known as zero-shot learning. And I know we talked about a little bit about zero-shot learning. So the zero-shot learning is the actual process of generating the audio. So when you type text, example here, so let's go back to the actual screen of when AI Johnny was speaking. So let me share my screen here. So we actually typed here, it's actually going to make this a little bit bigger. So when AI Johnny actually was when we're actually talking here, read scary with some urgency as they are in trouble. It says, "Hey, grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble." It's actually taking those words and it's actually using zero-shot process. And it's not using this specific voice. It's just using a trained voice, right? Now, over here, when we actually do AI Johnny's voice, it is actually a I don't know how many times 11 Labs actually chopped up the audio that we used, but let's pretend it was a one shot, meaning that they used one piece of Johnny's voice to actually put it in, and it mapped all his syllables and nuances in. So the thing is, because it understands the physics of sound, there's a huge danger of this, right? It can inference and fill in any gaps. So the source audio, if the source audio is staticky, the AI can actually hallucinate and clean up the audio, making the fake sound so much clearer than a real phone call. So AI Johnny, when you actually said the second audio, this one, let me play it again for everyone. When this one had the police cars in the background so clear, this is actually a hallucination. Huh? Let me play that.
Hi, Grandma, it's me. I'm in big trouble. I was driving a friend's car and we hit something. Hi, Grandma, it's me.
Yeah. So believe it or not, the police car in the background, the radio that's actually happening, the police officer that's talking, all of that is actually a hallucination. It was never something we asked for, and it's something that never actually occurred in our prompt. We never asked for that information. So believe it or not, it figured out and it says, hey, let me hallucinate. So when you're using a text-to-text model and it gives you some random facts, that's also a hallucination. It's just that we're able to catch text-based hallucinations because it's easy to factually check something versus why did it actually generate this thing that's called a hallucination, whether it's text-to-speech, text-to-video, or text-to-text. It's generating something that's actually was never there. Yeah, Johnny.
You know, one of the reasons that this fine tuning is so dangerous. Last night at dinner, I had my daughters at the dinner table, and I was asking them because we had just finished a TTS episode. And I was saying, okay, Hunter, say something. And she said, what? I said, say the Pledge of Allegiance. And she said, okay. And then I said, after she finished, I said, now say it like you're nervous. And she had a really difficult time speaking nervous because she wasn't nervous. She was just sitting at the dinner table. So imagine scammers that don't have access to these these great fine tuning tools trying to, of their own volition, fake somebody else's voice and fake somebody else's tonality. The people themselves can't fake a different emotion. So, it's just another example of that where AI is better at faking you than you are at faking you.
You're absolutely right.
Scary stuff.
It's super scary, yeah, Johnny. It's super scary. All right. Just want to let you guys know you guys can ask questions if you guys have anything. So yeah, Johnny, one of the key takeaways that we actually, I know you actually mentioned one of the the things that the defense strategy.
Yeah.
You mentioned the hang-up rule. Just reiterate for the people who actually maybe joining us for the first time or actually didn't actually catch it. What is the hang-up rule specifically?
Hang-up rule is if somebody calls you up and they're asking for money, even if you believe them, you should do what's called two-step verification. Hang up, call them back. Because a scammer calls you, they're not going to be calling you from their phone. They might be. Oh, there's your 10%. What if the scammer stole their phone? Oh, no. But even if they did, they'd have to have the digital voice answer the phone. Yeah, the hang-up rule is a really good one. So the takeaway from this is, hey, look, the monster's out there. The danger's there. It's going to happen to everybody. We're all going to get scammed by somebody with a digital voice. Sometimes it might be a harmless prank from a relative, but other times it's people that are really trying to hurt you. So you need to have these ideas in check, ready, so that you can intercept these things and not become a victim. I mean, what was the one we discussed last year? The guy got $25 million. He was an accountant, right? And he got a call. I think it was a video call from he was the CFO. He got a video call from the owner of the company asking him to wire $25 million overseas today. He had the same voice. He had the same face. Why would you doubt that? I'm looking right at you. It's your voice. It's your face. He sent the $25 million. The company went under. These are real world examples. So, I mean, the bounty for being a scammer is unbelievably tempting, which is why there's so many out there. So the hang-up rule is one. The other thing is check your privacy settings. If your Instagram is public, your voice is public. Lock it down to friends only. So the idea is, if they're going to clone your voice, they got to get your voice. So what you want to do is you want to put up every safeguard you can so that people can't just take recordings of you. Now, if you're a public speaker, there's nothing you can do about that. Social lockdown's probably not going to help you much. They can just pick it up from a video recording. But for the most part, if you're just using social media, don't let your voice just be captured by anybody. And
Yeah.
the third one,
Johnny, hold on.
we talked-
Let me elaborate on that one. That was such a great one that you mentioned. Reason being is because most people don't realize that if you're using a free product, no, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they don't charge you money to use their thing. You guys always have to remember that you guys are the product, right? They're selling something about you to make their money. So the way how these platforms do it, they configure their default rules, privacy rules, to make it to their advantage. Remember, not to your advantage. So what happens is when you sign up for a platform like TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, any one of these social networks, the privacy settings are almost always not in your favor. So what AI Johnny just mentioned is we want to go into our privacy settings and make it a little bit more restrictive. Say, hey, I only want to share on my personal profile this things with my direct friends, right? I want to share this on friends of friends, or I want this to be public. Now, keep in mind, it's a little bit tricky sometimes depending on the platform you're on. It may not be intuitive or easy to be able to select those settings, but if you actually just play around with it, they're always available on those type of things. So I do like that that feedback, AI Johnny. But if you're a public figure, unfortunately, you don't really have a choice. Create a private account. Love that, AI Johnny. Thank you. Next.
So the third word is a safe word. So pick a weird word: pineapple, spatula. If your daughter calls saying she's in jail, ask what's the safe word, and AI won't know it. So you're safe. There is a prompt where we can use to generate a contract. So the idea is that there are things that you have in your head that you can ask for. So you're not just relying on the voice alone, but you're relying on something that only you and the person on the other end of the phone works. But the problem with safe words is most people wait until it's too late to do a safe word. They're talking about safe words in a police department after reporting that they've already been scammed. So it's something you want to set up ahead of time. For my family, we all have a safe word that we all know to use if anybody calls each other, and it's it didn't little kid no don't little boat net skiddly out and don't but us could eat net and what and chew. And it's impossible for AI to steal that safe word because it's so complex.
I love that. I love that.
That's dead.
That's awesome. Thanks for sticking my law. We actually see Raslin in the chat actually has a comment. So AI Safety 101, and this one's actually funny. So Raslin, I usually love the fact that you guys are actually putting comments in it. I know you guys are actually, but this one's actually quite funny. It says AI Safety 101, Step 1, refuse to use as much as possible. Well, Raslin, I want to just say we teach AI here, and it's very scary to not understand how things are. So the things like that are very controversial, like how to drive a car, you usually have to get a little bit of practice. Gun ownership, I know that's a controversial topic. If you get a little practice, it becomes easier and safer to actually use. So AI is not going anywhere, and it's actually going to be really, 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 really part of our lives. We saw the same exact things with calculators, where there was a huge uprising of mathematicians saying, no, do not use calculators. And guess what? Nobody will ever say, I'm not using a calculator now to do any kind of college level work, right? So I love the fact that you actually dropped that in the chat, Raslin, and thanks for joining. All right, AI Johnny. So you mentioned AI Johnny, a contract, a prompt to be able to help with keeping your family safe. So let's go to that for a second. So if we go over and we go to our large language model of the month, we use Gemini here at we use Gemini here
February.
as for February. Thank you, Johnny. So we have a little prompt here that says, act as a cybersecurity expert. I'm going to see if I can actually drop it in so you guys all can have this at your fingertips. What you want to do is be able to say, act as a cybersecurity expert. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. And draft a family tech safety agreement for a family with teenagers. include 3 specific rules for verifying unknown calls, create a section for a safety word, and leave it blank for us to fill in. Right? Now, here's what it actually generated. It generated a family name, family text safety agreement. It has the date, it has the goal, it says the core security promises. So it says we value privacy, we update, blah, blah, blah. It says handling unknown calls with text. You'll have your teenager go over this. You go over it as a family, right? It doesn't even have to be teenagers only. It could be, younger kids as well, if they have access to, devices that can make or receive calls. And it has the parent signature and teenager signature. So you guys can actually agree to what needs to happen. There's a safe word itself section that you can actually do, or family safe word is you choose a word that is random and not easily guessable, like purple cactus or jellyfish or skibidi blah 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 blah. Right, yeah, Johnny?
Yep.
Definitely. So that's those are some really great defenses. On the tech side, if you actually want to know the nitty-gritty on what you can do what's known as biometric verification. So if you guys have see you have smartphones that uses your thumbprint or uses your face, that's biometric verification. And sometimes other locations like a bank has a voice dialing, or sometimes it has face ID. Make sure you turn those on, because those are actually really, really, really hard to actually replicate. The next thing is listen to the artifacts. So Rita rightfully caught that, both sounded fake, and she was definitely right. There were some artifacts in there. AI Johnny pointed out the background noise inside the one with the police cars. So generative AI often leaves digital silences or digital signals between words. Real calls usually have a room tone or those type of things. Also, use AI in fight mode. Use AI to fight AI. So when use call screening apps like Pixel or the iPhone, the newest update has amazing ways to be able to transcribe and screen the calls before you actually get the calls now. So scammers usually hang up on these automated screening processes. Those are the tech defense strategies. AI Johnny, do we have any questions?
Yep. Actually, I got a question in the chat. Does a scammer need to talk to me first to get my voice?
That's a really great question. So thank you guys for actually asking the question. So no, they just need the audio that you posted online. So in a place like TikTok, a voicemail greeting, or a Facebook video, you have zero. If you have zero online presence, they might call you to record and say, "Hello, who is this?" And they may take that information and record your voice, clone it, and then do the actual fraud. So unfortunately, there is zero way. So they can use a pre-recorded voicemail recording even if you're not home. So let's say, for example, you're you don't answer your phone and it says, "Hi, this is AI Johnny. I'm not here right now." Just that audio on your voicemail is just enough to actually get your voice and clone it. So it's going to be almost impossible to block that. Anything else, yeah, Johnny?
I have another question. This one's coming from I can't read it. Can I sue the AI company if my voice is cloned?
Can you sue? That's actually, I'd love to be able to sue the AI company. These AI companies are making billions of dollars right now. So if you guys heard, XAI actually just got acquired by SpaceX for $250 billion. We'll get that in a news section at a later stage. But no, you cannot actually sue them. Legally, it's the Wild West right now. It's very hard to sue any tool maker, right? Even tools that we love like 11 Labs, unless they do something like neglect. You can sue the scammer though, if you find them. Unfortunately, they're usually either out of the country or out of the jurisdiction that you live. So you have to find them, then you have to go serve them lawsuit papers. So the FCC just ruled that AI voices in robocalls are illegal. So it actually is a crime to actually do fraud in those type of things. So that's your recourse if you ever get need to go after these scammers.
Are you ready for another question?
Sure, go ahead, Johnny.
Are there any tools that detect these fakes automatically?
There are some tools, they're not that good. It's like a game of cops and robbers. So emerging tools like I can think of like McAfee, I think Mockingbird or something like that, or there's something called AI or not. They aren't perfect, right? The problem is it's an arms race. It's a cops and robbers. You try to actually put out something, the scammers get smart, then they block it, then they come up with a new scam. So it's not foolproof. But you can definitely look for tools like that. All right. We have about loving the Q&A. Rita, thank you so much for that comment. If you guys have any other questions or anything, definitely throw them at us. We will answer them live on the show. And if you're coming in from Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, remember there's about a 30-second delay. So our questions are actually going to come in a little bit later. All right, AI Johnny. Any news we can use?
News of the day. AI voice scams hit record high in 2025. I imagine 2026 might double that. A new report shows financial losses from AI impersonation scams topped millions last year, and the grammar scam is the number one vector. Deepfake detection tools are released. That's nothing new. This whole show, I mean, I was scared the last time we did it, but I'm scared even more. Literally heading home. I'm going to call a family meeting. I'm going to set up multiple safe words, and I think this time I'm going to do a safe word in another language, like Japanese. Nobody can speak Japanese in a panic. So I'm going to find some way to make sure that my family's safe from this, because I know I'm going to get hit. So next time we're serving up Hidden Eye Gems, the appetizers. We're going to be looking at Opus Clips, which is a tool that we use to chop up long-term video. I'm going to show you how to take this 45-minute show and turn it into 10 viral TikToks in a single click. So you don't want to miss that. So thanks everybody for watching the Airhead Institute. Remember, these classes are free and they're live every day at noon. So RSVP for a free account at airheadinstitute.ai to get your daily reminders. If you're an Airhead Pro member, don't forget, we have AI office hours today and every Wednesday from 3 to 5 Eastern time. Come bring your projects and we'll help you build them. Like, share, and follow on all social accounts if you're watching us on your phone. And that's it. I'm AI Johnny, turning it over to AI Junior.
All right.
For sign off.
You guys are awesome. This was your first episode on AI Safety 101. Catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.
That wraps up today's AI Power Up. If you joined late or you're new here, welcome to Airhead Institute. This is your daily destination for mastering artificial intelligence. We designed this lineup for everyone, whether you're a technical pro looking to upskill or you just want to chill and learn something new on your lunch break, we've got you covered. Our classes evolve every single month, so you're always on the cutting edge. And the best part? It's totally free to join. Once you're in, you can get live tips on your AI projects in our AI office hours and even enroll your kids in our Airhead After School program. Scan the QR code to join the community right now and make sure to like and subscribe at Airhead Institute on all socials. Guided by your hosts AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're here to help you win. Remember, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind. We'll see you next class. Bring a friend.